Yo, hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to The Troop, a game that we've taken a look at the playtest and the demo for before. We've taken a look at a few of the missions, but now it is out finally in early access. It's good to see you all here as we can play as the Germans or the British and even the Canadians, yes, in this wonderful turn-based World War II tactical game. Some of you were likening this to actually like XCOM, and I can totally see that. During the Stargate trailer that we showed off a couple of weeks ago, a lot of you were mentioning that you wish that game was more turn-based like an XCOM game, and that would be cool too. That one is more like Commandos, but it would be cool to see a turn-based game like that. But here we go. We've got this instead with many missions available. This game kind of seemingly coming out of nowhere, but making some wonderful improvements and looking fantastic, by the way. This looks on par with like a Men of War Assault Squad mod, but in a kind of a turn-based scenario. And really cool that you can play as the Germans or the British in pretty much all these scenarios. The first three are reserved more for tutorials, learning how to play the game, but after that it is open territory to play as the British or the Canadians or the Germans or, in many cases, the SS2 to try to stop the enemy. Well, this is all about the Normandy invasions on the British and German perspectives, so let's go ahead and pick a random mission. Let's try and know further, and we will go ahead and see if we can maybe plays the Germans, I guess? I don't know. I want to try to use that 88 and blow up some enemy tanks, so that seems cool. If you guys want to see more of this game, blow up that like button and let me know. That is your chance to vote here on the channel to see more. I'd use it before Susan takes that one away from you, too. Seriously, reach over and tap that button. Subscribe, notification bell before they remove that as well. It's too dangerous. What's more important is trust and safety, and you can totally trust them with your safety and trust, right? Yeah. They lost that war in 45. I don't know why they keep fighting. Let's jump in to The Troop. D-Day +1. Their initial counterattack having failed, the Panzers retire behind the defensive line north of Caen. The British now try to force an opening and penetrate into the city suburbs. Wow. We'll be defending the, I guess, the suburbs of Caen as the Germans. Wow, well, welcome to the battlefield.
The British must not be permitted to advance any further.
I've got to say, this game immediately, as I always play it, looks to be like Men of War Assault Squad or maybe Call to Arms Gates of Hell. The appearance of the game is phenomenal, and the immersive sound effects around the battle are just awesome as well as the awesome power of that Flak 88, baby. Amen. That is fantastic. Let's see if we can put that maybe on a roadway here. We can block the entire advance of any vehicle down the road. That would be helpful for us. Go ahead and put that maybe here. Cool. We've also got access to an S307, which I believe is... Oh, it's a half-track with an AT gun mounted onto it. Excellent. Now, what's kind of strange here is we can't deploy anywhere. We can't just, like, be here or here. We can move to those positions at any time, but it does make it a little bit more strategic into where we put our vehicles and essentially like roadblocks, you know. If the enemy drives in front of us, we can pop them, and that's going to be a good time for us, bad time for them. If we put this vehicle here, we can use the line of sight tool to then see that anywhere in the purple we can fire at. We just need to be aiming in that direction. We also have multiple infantry squads, about 6 here with, well, actually a Panzerschreck team, and a few of them with LMGs, so regular riflemen, and a few of them with probably MG42s or MG34s, depending on whatever. We might be able to see more information about that squad, too, if we click on it and look a little bit later. Okay, well, let's go ahead and end our deployment and await the British. So many of you were saying that this game reminded you a lot of XCOM combined with Company of Heroes. The Company of Heroes aspect being the squads. That is not your commanding an individual soldier, but you're commanding individual squads as if they were kind of one individual with the capability to fire at infantry, throw grenades, and in some cases use mortars or you know, LMGs as well to suppress the enemy. We're going to hold into our position. I can totally see what many of you had thought, too, during that Stargate trailer, as we talked about earlier. I like that, though. I like the idea that this could possibly be that type of game. A lot of people get so turned off by, you know, turn-based strategy, but then they forget how much they enjoyed XCOM. And I was definitely one of those people, too, where for the longest time I was like, oh, turn-based is so... It takes so long, which is true. But then again, you play a game of Steel Division, you realize about 30 minutes can pass by. But as you see here, the battlefield in The Troop is quite small because we're fighting over this little village here. So a lot of the objectives are, you know, small, capture the village or capture the crossroads or capture the bridge. And though the area of operations might be small, You can have quite a few units here, like a Tiger Tank, Panther, and a couple of Shermans fighting against each other. Well, we see a half-track approaching the roadway, which is going to be no bueno for the British here in just a moment. As soon as they get out that way, we can try to aim and ambush that unit. Let's see. This tile does not contain a visible unit. Aim at the tile anyway. No. But you can actually... That's cool. This means that you can try to prepare for an enemy to come your way. So, like, if I aim... you know, at a tile, then we can aim on the left or the right side of the street, but we'll still have to aim for range. So obviously further down range or closer range, that'll be a thing to worry about. Enemy morale, that's what will be the defeat here for the enemy if we get them down. But I think already that this is going to be much more difficult for the Germans. I would say that a lot of the German campaign, obviously as they were the ones to not succeed, they're just going to be undersupplied, or rather undermanned, as the British continue their advances on all of these fronts. Really cool. I would assume that since this game is early access, we'll see the arrival of the Americans at some point. It would also be cool to see the defense of France with some of these British units too, and early war German and French units as well, and just kind of see how things play out. Looks like that Sherman is trying to zip up the right side. Oh, this will be fun. Half-track is approaching the main road. And maybe trying to go into the orchard. Wow, that unit can go quite far. Interesting. I don't see an overwatch option in this game yet, but there could be the option to patrol a area so that way if an enemy moves across it, we can fire as they're moving. That would be a much more effective way to use some of these guns for ambush purposes, to wait until the enemy is exposed. Alright, we can go ahead and aim at this vehicle. 74% chance to hit. Let's go ahead and fire. Distance minus 26. Let's see what happens. Oh, baby. Ho-ho! Tank knocked out. That's an absolute knockout from that tank, or from that AT gun. That is amazing against a tank. The Sherman has made its advance. Coming closer to the village now. And the half-track is doing the same. The British are well aware that we have that 88 now, that they've wiped out, or they've lost one of those tanks, being wiped out by the 88. Panzerschreck team could be a good opportunity for an ambush, though. Enemy morale is down to 8 or 9. We don't need to kill them all, by the way. We don't need to eliminate the enemy in order to win. We just need to provide enough losses to morale. I feel like an enemy vehicle could pop out here at any moment. But I do need to protect that AT gun. Can we move this at any point? No. We have no vehicles to move that. Okay, let's go ahead and see. I wonder if we can... Oh, yeah, that's interesting. So you can see where you would need to move to in order to possibly engage that Sherman. So if we're going to engage that Sherman, we could try to move anywhere here. That actually would be a much better area for us there. So, right about there would be a good spot. We still need to turn and whatnot, but we'll see what the British do when they make their move. We'll park our vehicle here. It should be facing the road then. Okay, so we'll then get it to turn in the next turn. Okay, let's end our turn. Only 4 turns in, and all this chaos has already taken place. We're going to lose, baby. There's no way. The British are just too plentiful. And they're making their advance towards Caen, which you know is one of the bigger, bloodier battles for the British. I mean, many battles were bloody and quite large during the Normandy campaign. But Caen, of course, was a lockdown. Once the British captured it, that was kind of like a permanent foothold for their advance, and Allied advance in general. A very important objective they were able to take. All right, we got troops on the road. And they are attacking that AT gun now. So now it's time to fire back. Killing these vehicles are a gold mine. Scoring a hit on an enemy vehicle and destroying it is literally its weight in gold. Oh boy. Well, the British got their revenge, didn't they, with the surprise Sherman that just popped out on the left side. We got the one on the road, the one on the left side got us. We've got one on the right plus the half-track. Taking losses doesn't mean we lost the battle. All part of war. Oh, baby. 48% chance to hit. Now we want the HVAT rocket. What would happen if we tried to fire regular rifle rounds? Well, we want the rocket, though. 48% chance no matter what. It says, target moving quickly, -20. I feel like it stopped, but whatever. Fire. Well, that looked like a damn hit. Not entirely sure, but let's go ahead and rotate. Now, if we were here, British infantry will try to flank that position. So there's 10 troops here about to engage this building. Mortar here that can engage that building. We've got a tank that can support that advance. And we got two problems on the right side, and they're closer, so we should probably take care of that first. If we move here, that tank may move forward, so I'm going to move one square, or one hex forward. Rotate this position. And we'll just kind of have to wait for the British to advance. I'm assuming they'll roll forward and shoot at us, but we're in the earlier ambush position, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, what else is there? Okay, let's go ahead and end our turn. So as the British, we would get 3 tanks, a mortar. Oh, damn. Oh, wow. A mortar round hitting that Panzerschreck team, too. Damn, that thing is a literal Tomahawk missile, dude. That is cool. That mortar will be very effective as we play as the British, too. Now, the Flak 88 will probably be the scariest thing to take out, but once that's gone, it seems like the German defense is pretty much over, as I wouldn't imagine them really moving from their positions at all, so you would have the ability to mass your forces and then advance all at once. The Germans, man, if they had a mortar, I think they would have a fighting chance. I mean, at least they could suppress some of this infantry and take them in smaller numbers, as, you know, if 2 large groups were advancing, you know, multiple squads, we could be firing mortars here while we try to maneuver to the left side, but we're about to have bad times here. I'm not sure. I think those troops are killed. This guy may still be alive, the one with the Panzerschreck. I'm not sure, but this guy for sure is dead, the rifleman. Wow, the tanks are just closing in, aren't they? We need more and more games, though, that allow us to play these battles from both perspectives. There's a lot of wonderful handcrafting that gets done in these single-player games. For example, like World in Conflict, where eventually the World in Conflict DLC was to play as the Soviets. It was always NATO or the United States, and you were always against the Warsaw Pact. And you never got to really play as the quote-unquote bad guys. But, you know, it's nice that when the when games give you perspective from the other side and just let you see, you know, what the thoughts and what the movements and what the decisions and the you know, the types of things that the enemy had to do in order to keep fighting, or the decisions that had to be made in order to win or lose battles. You know, sometimes the sheer incompetence, even in games, to see some of those things too, of other campaigns and stories. Halo, Gears of War example. Let's go ahead and end our turn again. We're still going to wait with that half track because it's too dangerous to move it. Looks like they're still firing that. Wow, the Panzerschreck is still alive. I can't believe it. We could get him inside that building there. There we go. And let's see if we can engage the... Oh, we actually can move to the side of the building. Nice. And we'll have to wait then for the next round to fire from there. So getting inside that building would be a good thing. The British are now almost getting ready to enter buildings. Go ahead and start engaging. Oh, nice. 60% suppression. Fantastic. Let's try to use a grenade. Grenade. It says no visible unit. Oh, line of sight is blocked because we're on the back side of the house. All right, the British will be moving around. So that's another important thing, too, is that the buildings actually have, like, 3D aspect to them. It's not just if you're in the front of the house with a machine gun setup that you can just magically pop to the back and have the machine gun shoot there. And that'll be nice for planning your attacks and defenses too. That makes it a hell of a lot more realistic. So many games just let you just shoot from wherever, and that's kind of annoying, but in this case it's good. I don't know if we have line of sight here. Oh damn, we do. Get wrecked. Grenade right out the window. Sweet. Too bad we can't do both. So I think our main goal here is to try to keep all the green areas as well. We're losing one flag, but we just need to keep all three or destroy enemy morale. Although ours is just devastated now by the constant, the constant tanks. Good on the British, though, to bring so many troops. Oh, the orchard is an important objective behind the house. So there's actually quite a few areas we need to hold or capture as the British, if we play as them. I want to make it clear, too, that in these scenarios, I don't think I'm playing to try to win at all. I'm just playing to try to understand the scenarios and the kind of the gimmick or the highlight of each of them to make them each unique. In this case, this is a really cool one of minimal defense from the Germans, mostly a stationary defense of troops and the AT gun with a small mobile unit of the half-track. But there's also operations with the Panther and the Tiger that allow you to then be more aggressive that way. Wow, all the troops just being wiped out in like one fell swoop by the British. That's awesome, man. They just came in and cleaned house, literally. Well, we still have our half-track ready to go. If we can land a shot into the side of that Sherman there. There's an infantry squad there that they're engaging. Alright, let's go ahead and skip a lot of their maneuvers. If you click, you can skip a lot of these cutscenes too, kind of seeing where and how the enemy attacks. Well, this might be a bad time for the British if I can get a rocket into that ass. Ooh. Wow. Enemy tank hit hard and appears to be immobilized. Let's finish it off, boys. 40% chance to hit. Really? Oh, come on. Come on, brother. Give me a good hit here. Alright, our morale is down to 5. We need to continue to fight against the British then. Let's get a little bit more aggressive. We could move to this side of the street with the British here. Showing that we're still inside the house and can fire from this position. Minimal, but let's get firing. That is definitely an MG-42 there. And a British MG team as well. Alright, let's go ahead and keep it engaging. At best, we could probably suppress these units. Line of sight is blocked for some of their movement. Let's get a move to the backside of the house. And see if we can fire here. Nice. Okay, now we're starting to see our effectiveness now that they're very close range. We still have 2 troops here that can keep fighting. And lob another grenade. Enemy troops are here. Inside the little barn there. Okay. I think we'll go ahead and let the enemy make their move here in just a second. We'll continue to try to suppress. Okay, they're still taking losses. Nice. Very cool. This is definitely the type of turn-based game I would like to become good at, and it's interesting because there's a lot of detail on the screen in terms of percentages on distance and cover and concealment, but also it's very easy to understand that. Once you, I think if you play the first 3 tutorial missions, you'll be into this one no problem at all. For those of you who may be hesitant or reluctant on a turn-based game, I think those people may have already been turned away the first 5 seconds, but I think we need more and more acceptance of many different types of styles of game, especially strategy. We have Broken Arrow coming in 2022. We have Warno coming in 2022, and we also have Regiments coming in 2022, and those are late Cold War, early modern era, or more modern era, you know, basically from like 1985 to today, in terms of the time frame of the vehicles and the weapons available. But those could be vastly different games in RTS, and tactical can be the same thing too. Turn-based tactical can be completely different based on, you know, what the scenario is. A 90% chance to hit. Let's fire. All right, another mobile vehicle. Very nice. Let's go ahead and hit that other vehicle. See if we can hit that. Oh, now we have accurate aim. We can actually pick and choose where we shoot. That's really cool. So at this point, if we want to disable the vehicle, or if we want to take it out completely, we can do that. Eliminated. So that crew won't be getting back into that. But their morale still stands at 9. It may be because also they're capturing objectives, although they are losing vehicles left and right. But same for me. Let's go ahead and fire again on those troops out there. And those guys are just in a kill zone. They just don't want to move. All right, we've lost the left flank completely. The right flank is overwhelmed. We can try to throw another grenade here into the house. Seems to give those troops suppression, but I'm just going to keep tossing nades then, since we're in the building together. Mortars seem to still be firing on this position. Can we move after firing? No, okay. I'd say we're basically boned. I mean, we know we're boned already. There's no doubt about that. We've got on the right flank about 10 troops here. Another 5 to 10 in this area. And probably another... probably 10 approaching from this side. We see 3 here, but, you know, they could be flanking around. They've already captured one of their objectives. We are holding all of them, but that one plus one is neutralized. So, yeah, it's basically over for us. So we'll just kind of play it out and see what happens. Ooh, a loss in... Oh, yep, squad eliminated. Oh, the Panzerschreck eliminated from the mortar shot to the top of the building. That is cool, that buildings like that provide cover, but they don't provide, like, a complete defense. A mortar round can come through a roof, no problem. And that's cool. That makes the mortar pretty powerful. But the problem with the mortar is it will have to fire a few times. So if you're, you know, trying to engage a machine gun that's tearing up your troops, it's going to be a while till that round lands right on the enemy. Oh, they're going to take these objectives, no problem. It would be nice to take out that last vehicle. Oh man, we're just losing... vehicles left and we're losing squads left and right. Really, they haven't bailed out of that vehicle until just now. Interesting. Well, our last play is going to try to be to bring this.
Your force morale is dangerously low.
Our last move here is going to try to be to take out one of the enemy tanks. I would say at this point, if I were the British, I'd be pretty gutted that we lost 2 tanks and a half-track and maybe a squad or 2. But then again, morale can be high from the whole operation to. You know, D-Day and being on the offensive and gaining so much territory and whatnot, so all good. And I believe, I don't know if we can actually recrew that weapon, but I believe, I'm going to try to take out that tank. Mortar round probably falling on the, nope. I was going to say probably falling on the tank, but no. 5-man squad pushing up. This really makes me also want to play Postscriptum again, too, a fantastic and wonderful World War shooter that has all things... Market Garden and operations around the invasion of France and all sorts of cool different timelines and such. And really a great shooter as well. It's good when games like this make you also want to play other games that you may have access to, like Hell Let Loose, or to go back and play Postscriptum or Call to Arms or Men of War Assault Squad. It's a good sign of a game when it also makes you want to play other games again. It puts you into this whole, like... You know, you might be in the mood for World War II, but you stay there for a long time because you have access to a lot of games that you're in the mood for, and that is awesome. Well, speaking of awesome, it looks like that British tank just crossed the road with a beautiful side shot. And if we can land a hit on that bad boy, we'll have to rotate that direction. We should be able to aim. And fire. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be a hit, but let's see. It'll be a miss. But damn, does that look cool, doesn't it? Hopefully that gets their attention and they attack us. Let's see. But it is cool to also see how the AI does things, and it's a good learning opportunity for your troops, or for you, and how to use your troops. If you play against the AI, you can see what they do for tactics. Every game is different. Every game has different levels of suppression, grenade effectiveness, grenade range. You know, even though in real life an MP40 had certain stats, an MP40 in all sorts of different games works, reloads, and does all sorts of things differently. So it's really cool to see. Oh, wow, wiped out. Complete wipeout.
Men have reached their limit. We can ask no more of them today. You must withdraw.
Awesome reverse kill from the British there. Did they have a, did they have an AT weapon? Oh, I wanted to see how they killed it exactly. I'm not sure if they had a Piat or if they just threw a grenade, but that's phenomenal. Good work for them. All right, well, that is it for today's episode of The Troop, ladies and gentlemen. It is out now, so consider this video an announcement for the release of the game with lots of wonderful missions and also the ability to play as the British, the Canadians, possibly the Poles, and of course the Germans, and a pretty good tutorial. As the developers say, there is also a more in-depth tutorial coming soon, but I would say that that's really not needed. There's also a save load function, too, for those of you who want to save scum, but I would say that some of these missions are so... You know, even though you get 30 turns, you could probably play these, as you saw today, in about 30 minutes. They may get more complex as they go on. But waiting for us is more operations with AT guns, with, with a Firefly, Panthers and Tigers and Bears. Oh, my. Airborne offensive, armored pushes. Oh, boy. All right, guys, thanks for leaving a like on the way out. Thanks for watching. Thanks for getting excited with me in tactical games and whatnot. And thank you very much for all your support. I'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.